I did want to talk about this. So the Oscars were Sunday, I think, and they had record low viewership. However you spin it, they try to say, oh, it had 18.1 million viewers, but I think that is an all-time low.
They're saying drops for the first time, but hasn't it not been doing well every year? I mean, this might be the all-time low, but I thought it already wasn't doing well.
It was because it hit an all-time low during the pandemic.
Oh, so it's recovered for a little bit.
So it recovered a little bit. But I know even like that Will Smith slap and all that kind of stuff, people are speculating if that was like not even real because they just want some drama to get people talking about the Oscars again.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, this is, I mean, you can see this is the this tiny little graph. That's 2020.
I just think at the end of the day right now, while yes, there still is some level of people caring about actors and stuff because that's just how some people are. But there's, with the rise of like anybody can make content type thing, people tend to really want to keep up with authentic, real people. And it's like, okay, an actor, like for me, it's like, okay, if I like an actor in a movie, great, I'll watch the movies they make, but I don't really care that much about their personal lives. I don't care that much about what awards they get or this or that, because actors, I just don't relate to them. And if I'm going to keep up with somebody or want to see everything they're doing, it's going to be a more relatable person I see online.
Right. I agree with you. I think back, in the 80s, 90s, whatever, 70s, award shows were a chance to see your favorite celebrities or stars. They'd walk the red carpet. They might bring whoever they're dating for the first time. And you get that to a certain extent with award shows now, but you're also used to seeing them either in tabloids or on their own social media. Like you have this constant exposure to them. And so some of what's special is gone. I mean, I've never watched award shows really. The thing that I like about social media is like when people will be like, oh, I liked like this person was best dressed or they wore this designer's collection. Like you can get some interesting takes. Does knowing these things make me a better person? Probably not.
Right.
Like,
and I don't even think the fashion is that good lately. Now it's like, oh, let's see who can wear the weirdest thing, like a house hat, or like, let's see who can get as naked as possible. It seems like that's kind of the goal now. Yeah. Instead of actually, I would be more interested to watch if the fashion was actually really cool.
And to be honest, you can get better exposure to that now when like influencers or like fashion reporters on social media are talking about Fashion Week. Like some of the best stuff that I saw at the award show. And again, I'm not like actively pursuing this, but it'll be served to me through the algorithm or whatever. Most of that was already noted and commented on by people who are interested in this during Fashion Week. Like you already got to see that. I think that the sort of stranglehold or the monopoly, let's say, that award shows had on like the culmination of fashion and elitism and celebrity is kind of over.
Right.
Yeah. Well, I mean, there's a couple reasons to why I think the viewership has started to tank. I think what Melonie said earlier is like, because we know these people, we now know we don't relate to them. We also know that they hate us. So it's like, do I really care now? Like there is a report that Reagan was blocked from Best Picture consideration. Not saying that it was Best Picture. I don't think it was. But like
consideration, like, come on.
It couldn't even be considered because it didn't meet DEI requirements. So there's there's that aspect. There's also the aspect that with streaming, there are so many movies that are coming out. Movies, many of which, by the way, are made specifically to win awards. Like, here's a movie about a transgender, person in a wheelchair who's also a sex worker overcoming this, that. That movie was not made to make money. It was made to win awards. And that's why for the last 5 years, most of the movies that win awards, nobody's ever seen.
Right.
I don't know that the movie about the prostitute, never even heard of it. Never even heard of it.
I'd never heard of it.
Yeah, like
is that the one where the woman up on stage was thanking prostitutes for their service?
Yeah.
Well, sex workers, because the term is
they're not. Yeah. So it's like it's like, first of all, you have that, which like
Yeah.
anybody who's Christian is going to be like, what?
Right.
Second of all, it's like, what? I've never even heard of this movie. So like the blockbusters over the past 5 years aren't even good movies. Like,
Yeah.
I would argue with anybody that you take the top 5 box office movies at the box office in the past 10 years, and none of them were good movies. Like Avengers Endgame, sorry guys, wasn't that great. Like,
no, Endgame wasn't. Infinity War I loved, but
Infinity
Endgame,
War
I
was
think,
very good. Yeah.
Endgame was way overrated.
Yeah, it was like a 6 or a 6.5.
right.
And like, it just wasn't, it wasn't very good. Most of these, the biggest grossing movies, the ones that people know about, are good. So they're not winning awards. The ones that are winning awards, nobody's seen. So like, why would I watch the Oscars for a bunch of skeletal Ozempic women and, metrosexual men,
Right.
saying Slava Ukraine,
Yeah.
for a movie that I've never even heard of? I don't think I know a single movie that won an award. I'll also
My
say this:
favorite-
Oppenheimer wasn't even that good. And
no,
it was
I think
okay.
Oppenheimer was way overrated. I was there. I wanted to see bomb explosion, all that. I felt like it was a soap opera.
It was a soap opera. Yeah.
I did not like it at all.
Yeah.
I thought it was funny. I saw this justification or someone being like, yeah, it's so great that Anora won. It's a little indie film. Other Marvel movies or whatever, or Disney, I don't remember what saying, have like $300 million budgets, and it only had a $6 million budget, and it won the Oscar, which I know we are going through inflation, but like $6 million is still a lot here, team.
Right.
And I don't really know how indie.
The first Joker movie had
is,
a sub $50 million budget, and it made $1 billion in the box office. So there is no 1-to-1 ratio of budget to expectations at the box office. Yeah.
Right. And I just think like to try and save award shows, they're trying to be like, wow, actually the underdogs are winning, but it all feels sort of corporate to me. I mean,
it's not an underdog when you get a movie like that, and damn well it was like the old Vox meme where they're like, how does Vox writes an article, or Vice? It's just a guy throwing dildos at the wall, and it's like, America's, and then it's like, have you ever seen that before? Nobody?
No, I haven't.
No.
Oh my God. Hold on a second. I'll show you, because this is exactly how they make how Vice writes articles. This is like, I'm trying to find, if somebody in chat has the video. I thought it was about Vice. Let me try Google quick. How Vice writes articles. Yeah, this is it. Here we go. How Vice comes up with article ideas. Here we go. Hold on. I know you can't see it. I'm moving it.
Okay.
Okay. This is Vice headquarters. He's drinking soy. And I don't recognize the books.
That's so funny.
Mind bending edibles or something like that. Chocolate. I don't know. Here.
Oh wow.
Yeah, like it's really reminds me of these movies now. And if you even go back to like the categories, it's like pick a poor country, a minority, and drugs. And it's like, there you go. And that's like every time, it's like for rich white liberal women to be like, oh my God, did you see that film? Like that's how they're making films. And it's like Jaws would never be made today.
Right. And it's such a classic.
Such an amazing movie that was made for everybody. It wasn't
not
made
everybody because it didn't highlight only minorities.
Well, Big Shark, Big I tell you what, a lot of black people
ain't gonna be on a boat.
Yeah,
there.
I can tell you a lot of black people.
Isn't it a great white shark? I mean, you guys are just really towing the line over there.
Well, he was the villain, just so everyone knows.
Oh, to be fair.
Yeah. I mean, there are a lot of black people standing in those lines to see that movie.
Oh
Like,
yeah.
that I believe Jaws was the origination of the term blockbuster. I could be wrong, but I'm pretty sure Jaws was where they came up with that. Like, people were lined up around the block to see that movie. And that movie had no diversity and no bull spit in it. And everybody loved it. I mean, the first Joker movie, you know,
Oh, so good.
you know,
I loved
$1
it.
billion in the movie theater, you know. There's the first Jurassic Park movie, you know,
Iconic.
that was a blockbuster too. And it's just people want to know why Hollywood is irrelevant now. I mean, sorry player, but you did it to yourself.
Right.
Like, you're not making movies that people care about anymore. They're either retreads or they're movies specifically designed for winning awards. And until Hollywood awards good movies again, like, nobody's going to give a crap about the award ceremonies, you know. That's just like not, you know, I just don't think that Hollywood can ask for us to care about them anymore. I mean, you had to watch a black and white skeleton sing a song before you could watch this. Like, I'm sorry, but something is wrong with Ariana Grande.
Oh yeah.
Like,
I mean,
this is a beautiful woman, and she looks like she has AIDS, late stage AIDS.
it's
Have you seen
long-term
her interview
veganism, I think.
recently? She looks like
it's so gross.
she answers questions in a weird way. Like
Her
something
chest
weird
is
about
so weird. It's like concave.
Yeah.
She has no curves left. I mean,
she
look,
has no nutrients in her body. It's
Yeah.
long-term veganism and not eating enough. It's like a combination of things.
I think it's veganism plus
Plus,
Ozempic.
I think so.
She's
agree.
like really too thin.
She
like-
is, and this is and she's been very slim in the past. She's been
Yeah.
tiny and looked
She's
good.
never been huge, right?
But, right.
She's
but
been
this
kind of
is just
thicker.
right. She's been a little thick before, but she's also been tiny and svelte, and she still looked cute. But this
Yeah.
is just too much.
Yeah,
Yeah.
I mean, I'm supposed to be told that, like, you know, girls with their eyes too wide apart with small boobs that also happen to be saggy. Like, sorry, ladies, fellas, you know what I'm saying. There's a lot of benefits to small boobs, okay? And I don't know how they get small boobs that are also saggy, but like, that's what the standard of beauty coming out of Hollywood is now. Like, you have,
Right.
you know, women that are not attractive on the inside or the out. I'm sure
Right.
that a lot of these actresses and actors were human garbage from the 70s, 80s, and 90s too, but you just
Oh,
didn't
for
know it.
sure. Yeah,
Yeah, like, I'm sure
Yeah.
this isn't a new thing,
I
but
agree.
Hollywood went away from traditionally attractive women, which do come in all sizes. It's just I'm not saying every woman needs to be the body type of Sydney Sweeney. I'm
Right.
just saying that, like, you know, I think that most any dude could speak for almost everybody on what's attractive and what's not. And like, most women could too, but it's generally frowned upon when women
And
do
I
it.
think part of it too is that part of being an actor is the art of it, right? And then because of the fame involved with that, there's a level of like self-worship that a lot of actors have, and then there's a level of, oh, that's one reason why they got into it, is because they wanted to be famous, instead of, hey, this is about the art. And there is one different factor from like more old school actors, that it was just like, man, they were about the art. The fame
You're right.
ended up coming with it, but now the fame is a big center point. Why do most people want to be actors? Because fame and money.
Yep.
And that's just, and so yeah, you're going to get a lot of corrupt people because that's their motivations, instead of, wow, I'm just really about the art of this. I love it. Look at a struggling artist who's like painting or drawing or something. There's a lot of passion in their work. It's incredible. And a lot of the best artists ever don't make that much money. But
I also think I'm going to get to some viewer comments after this. I'll give myself the last word on it. I don't think a lot of actors and actresses these days grew up struggling.
no,
like,
they didn't.
They weren't working. They're not working
Exactly.
as a waiter or waitress trying to get their headshot seen.
Yep.
That is gone. They're all Nepo babies. Hollywood actors and actresses are literally born in pods where they're already rich. Their parents are in directing or production or whatever, and they just walk onto the stage.